let's watch this. The gaming industry has lost their fucking collective minds. Understandable. Wokeness is fucking killing the gaming industry.
Its ugly head yet again, and it's that the video game industry believes that it's time for games to be $100 or more. Mark
Oh
my
yeah, the
words.
$100 one.
If this is the path that the industry chooses
Oh
to
yeah, bitch. Not gonna lie, if this trend pursues, pirating would be a big problem now. Like pirating would be the number one thing people will do now because they cannot afford a fucking game. Because you're fucking. I'm not buying a game that is $100 that won't probably work properly. I would rather buy an indie game that work, like some that will work, but has some little bugs, and I will like pay like $10 to $15 or maybe $5 if I'm lucky, just to play a fun indie game, not a fucking scuff ass $100 game that has maybe bugs and maybe woke. I'm not fun buying that. So let's see what he has to
follow,
say.
this will likely lead to the largest collapse this industry has ever
Oh
seen.
yeah,
They think that the
100%.
layoffs, closures, and canceled games are bad now. You haven't seen anything yet. The players already have a long list of reasons as to why not to buy games today. If
Yeah,
you want to go and add an even bigger reason to that list, likely for the vast majority of players, the reason that will be at the very top of their list. You know, for years now, we've heard about how they think that the video game industry bubble is going to burst because there's just been so much investor interest over the years. The wages have increased, the cost of development and marketing has gone up, and the long development cycles that these games are in, 7 to 10 years in some cases, is just not making these games financially viable. These big AAA, these big shiny AAA games are too expensive to make for such little return. So they've gotten themselves thinking, well, how do we fix this issue? What's the actual
make
problem
it
here? I mean, it
expensive.
can't be that our, leadership is incompetent. It can't be the slop that we've been delivering to the customers. It can't be that we've been over investing in these projects. It has to be that the customer's not paying enough money. That has
Yeah.
to be the solution to this. So today what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the industry's long list of excuses as to why we need to be paying $100 or more. We're going to watch on as journalists seal clap the
Wait, what?
industry's death
Why?
march into oblivion, and we're going to talk
Because
about
no
why
one's
I
gonna
think
fucking buy
the
that
players
$100 game.
aren't going to buy. This isn't the first time we've had to have this conversation. Back in 2023, Capcom's president came forward at an event in Japan and explained that video game prices were far too low even after the price hike up to
Okay.
$70, explaining that
Nah.
video game development
It's too
costs are
fucking
100 times
high.
more expensive than they've ever been, and games haven't followed inflation like other industries. And he's not wrong. In 1990, a standard game would cost around $50.
It's
Adjust
still
for
fucking.
inflation, that would be closer to $100 today. Yet,
Yeah.
even with the price hikes in 2020 up to $70 for AAA games, the reality is that
Yeah,
the
tell
industry
ya.
just hasn't kept pace. Over the same time period, from 1990s to today, wages, marketing, and development costs have all skyrocketed. Game studios are spending exponentially more money than they ever did in the 90s or early 2000s, so the profit made on the sale of a single game has shrunk year over year. If we were to adjust in line with inflation from the early
The
days,
profit is not shrinking. You're just not making good products. Like, like, yes, your profit was skyrocketing back then because, like, you made good products and games that not has been, like, played before. Maybe it's true, like the profit is not that big as from like 50 or 20 years ago, like technically 50 years ago, but still, if you suddenly like skyrocket the fucking price, I will 100% assure you you will make less money because less people will try to buy the game because it's much more riskier to buy games now because of how it's been, like how AAA games are releasing and flopping, and players are just not gonna trust a $100 game that might not be good. So
of gaming to today, AAA games would be priced well over $100, maybe even $150 to be able to match today's financial realities. Now, all of that makes sense with nuance removed. However, we don't live in a world without nuance. The fact of the matter is that the vast majority of games that are released today make far more money past the point of sale. Something that didn't exist back when games were being made in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. This microtransaction. This is a bread and butter and making money in a game, but not in like a solo game. So yeah.
While they still had merchandise, toys, and clothing and other different things that they could sell, now today, games have DLC, loot boxes, gacha and gambling mechanics, microtransactions, expansions.
Games right now are making a lot more. But when you're not making a lot, and if your like excuse is like, oh, like we're just pricing our like games so low, that's why we're not making money. No, your games were probably bad, and no one wanted to play it, and probably lots of returns because it was shit game. So, yeah.
Editions and more. I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that video game companies aren't making enough money today, or there aren't enough ways for them to make money.
They're just not
However,
making
games
good
journalists and
games.
industry analyst Matthew Ball are going to try to tell us otherwise. In an article written by Eddie Mackich titled GTA 6 could cost as much as $100, some hope. Analyst clarifies comments. If Take-Two raises prices to $80 or more, other publishers could apparently follow suit. Eddie writes, veteran investment analyst and researcher Matthew Ball of Opinion has released a gargantuan 219-page report about the state of video gaming in 2025, and some of the presentation looks at how the video game industry could possibly grow in 2025. In a section titled, How Player, Playtime, and Player Spend Might Return to Growth, Ball mentioned a variety of opportunities, including Grand Theft Auto 6 costing as much as $100 when it launches this year. Ball said that there is hope among some in the game market that Take-Two will price GTA 6 at $80 or even $100, which could prove as a turning point for the video game industry. This could break a key price barrier and allow developers to raise their prices as well, he said. Before this, a Baldur's Gate 3 developer said a GTA 6 could prompt a shift to more expensive games if Take-Two decides to price it above $70.
Yeah.
In a series of follow-up posts, Ball shared further key updates, including how GTA 4 was priced at $90 in real terms, with GTA 5 costing $83. Ball added, your rent is up, movie tickets have doubled.
Well, yeah. You can get money easier back then, and you don't have to pay much back then either. It may be like the same like amount for like today, if it would be like $100 for today, but everything is also more expensive today, so it won't be, because people would not buy it 100%. If they made it $100, some people would buy it, and legitimately, this is not a lie, a lot of people will pirate that game just to fucking play it because it's expensive.
Minimum wage, Spotify, Netflix, bus fare, gas, etc. Indeed, nearly all categories are up, not just flat in real terms, while games are at record lows. He went on to say Rockstar's cost isn't sufficient to set the price, but the argument games should be the only thing never to adjust for inflation and thus be, in the strictest terms, worth less every year is not healthy either or a good argument, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ball was not making a prediction himself that GTA 6 would cost $100, only that there is a belief in the market by some that it could happen.
It's just that they believe that they need to make more money. Even though they're already making money, they think they're, how do you say it, like, entitled to raise the prices and get more money because inflation. That's what they thinking. I somewhat agree that they do have the rights to get more money if the game is fucking good, but still, if you raise the prices, they'll pay. Just people would less likely pay, because if you did make it, and the assumption is like you will put DLCs on that said game, it would not be good because the beauty of gaming industry right now is like, oh, they can make money through DLCs, even though the base game is not that expensive. They could make DLCs like loot boxes and stuff, or like add-ons to the fucking game that the players could buy to improve the gameplay, or like add another like form of entertainment, making it $100 and plus some DLCs that might be all similar price might deter some players.
His money, Ball said that GTA 6 will cost $70. I can't believe I have to say this, but customers only ever care about inflation when said inflation affects them and their
Yeah,
money. $100 is $100. Whether it's
yeah,
1990 or 2025,
hundreds or
no
hundred.
matter how you spin it, what excuses you make, or what numbers you point to, the vast majority of people just flat out cannot afford those prices and
Yeah,
will have a far more difficult time justifying buying games day one or buying games at all. My friends with kids buy maybe 1, 2 games a year, or they just spend their money on indie games because they're far
yeah,
cheaper, they tend to have more replay value, and they don't take as long to complete.
yeah. It's much more entertaining. Like it's not even much more replay value. It's just like if you finish a game, you can buy another indie game to play. It's not just like, oh, it has replay value. It's true. Like in the games you can replay it. Some of them have like multiple like endings and stuff, like multiple ways how to play it. Also, you have lots more money to fucking spend it. Spend it on other games. $100 game is still $100 game. If you don't like it and don't play it, it's a waste of money. You have played like legitimately. I like GTA, it's fun, but I won't fucking play that shit 24/7. And like the price of that game is not worth it to be playing. Playing it like maybe 1 2 hours just to fucking play it like an hour or like 30 minutes a day because like bitch, realistically normal people will not play GTA 6 like the 7, I don't know, the new GTA for like 5 hours at a day. Realistically, they're not fucking streamers. They don't have that kind of stuff. Like legitimately, normal people will not play GTA a ton, and that will diminish the game's value because you're paying a lot of money for experience that you will only experience for 30 or an hour each day. Unlike a $15 game that might take you an hour or 3 hours to fucking complete. And it's 100% worth it because okay, I'm paying $15 to play this game to finish it an hour or 3 hours. If I finish it, I'll buy a new game that have the same price and maybe also have the same experience and enjoyment as the other game, the $15 game, indie game. So I think raising the price will raise the standard of the game also. If you like make it $100, you're expecting the game to be a 10 out of 10 with no flaws, no bugs, flawless, no lag. Everyone can play it at the fucking start. There's no excuses to make a game $100 and on release date there's a lot of bugs. Now, that's just a horrible game because lots of indie games at day one work smoothly. You can play it from the beginning to end with no bugs or like some glitches, but some fun glitches just didn't know. So $100 is just fucking bad.
My friends without kids, Well, they work too much and they can't even justify buying a $70 game, and they
Yeah,
just choose to play free-to-play games instead.
because
Gen
it's much
Z
more.
is so maladjusted and ambivalent due to the pandemic that they can't even find work, and even if they do, they can't hold jobs for long. Heck, the vast majority of them are choosing to become NEETs out of choice. Who are they planning to sell these games to, and where are they going to find the money? When Ball mentions how GTA 4 was priced at $90 in real terms, he's talking about how the price of GTA, adjusting for inflation, was priced above inflation at the time, making $59.99
Yeah,
feel like $90 at the time. And that's why it should be completely fine for games to be $90 or $100 today. Here's the other thing they're missing. $100 isn't just a number, it's a cultural touchstone.
yeah,
It's a psychological threshold that makes
hundreds to
consumers think
hundred.
twice before making a purchase. Crossing that $100 mark makes a statement. It's saying that this product is now a luxury tier item.
Yeah, it's a tier item that little people can play, and has like a quality that has a quality that no other game has. If that quality isn't met, then like your game will be horribly reviewed, because like you're now making a standard that this game is top tier and you must pay $100 just to play this game.
Something that isn't just an impulse buy, but an investment,
Yeah,
whether it's worth it or not.
it's not
And that's
worth
where
it.
that feeling hits the hardest. It's not just about the price tag, it's about the perception of value and what people can reasonably spend in an already stretched economy. Look, a $100 purchase feels like it demands a justification. I can't tell you guys how many times I had to overcome dread when I was wanting to upgrade from a $30 webcam and a $50
Yeah,
microphone.
that's already
For
fucking
many, this is going to
a
be a
dread.
breaking point. The moment where games start to feel more like an exclusive club for the
Yeah, it's more like it's just like, oh, I'm gonna buy a like Altus Honda, and like, oh, like a normal car, like I don't know cars, but it's like buying like a normal Honda car versus buying a Bugatti. It's like that. Like, would the Bugatti be like, oh, so cool, and like has do the like will make you turn heads? Yes. Would it hurt your wallet? Would be a good investment? Probably not. But it's a cool car. But the same car with like not the same car, but like a normal car would take like would it turn heads? Probably not. Would it get you somewhere and be fucking reliable? Would it have less costs and repairs and fucking shit? 100%. It's the same as a game. $15 game, $100 game. $15 game, you can play it like multiple times, and you just can count back again and again if you don't if you are fucking bored, and you still have leftover money to buy another fucking game. The investment, there's more investment in an indie game than the $100 game, because you're buying one game for $100, and you must play that game now. You must squeeze out the content, the entertainment you paid for that said game. And if it's not your liking, well shit. You just paid $100 for a fucking game that you didn't fucking like anyways. And that's gonna be fucking bad. And reviews would be super bad if it's just a slight inconvenience, because the quality now is inflated. It's like it's boosted by the fucking number of $100. Now the game is now a fucking luxury item that must have no fucking flaws. But if it has some flaws in it, it would be more amplified, amplified. Like if an indie game has flaws, oh, it's an indie game. It's only $15, so like they could look past that. But if it's a game, $100 game, and it has a fucking flaw, and it's like, okay, this is bad. Why is there a flaw in my $100 fucking game? I paid $100 for it to be perfect, but it's not perfect now. So it's artificially boosting its like quality, like perceived quality than its actual quality. So
people that can afford it and less like a pastime accessible to anyone who loves the medium. It's a barrier that not only reflects inflation, but also sets the tone for how the industry views its
yeah,
audience. One where only a select few can afford or truly engage with what the industry has to offer. I just hate how disingenuous all of this is. Ball says the prices for all things are up, and the idea that games need to stay the same price isn't fair, conveniently ignoring the fact that while the upfront price of games has remained relatively stable, the way that games are monetized has changed
yeah, that
drastically. In-game
monetization has
purchases,
changed.
microtransactions, season passes, battle passes, and expensive collector's editions have all become the norm. Game companies have found new, more aggressive ways to squeeze every dollar from the player far beyond the original price tag. A $60 to $70 game is no longer just that, it's an entry point. To truly experience whatever the game has to offer, players are often pressured into spending far
Yeah,
more in additional content. Customers aren't just paying more, they're paying far beyond what they originally bargained
yeah,
for. And that's what should be addressed, not just the price tag on the box.
yeah. The
And with
price tag is just like an artificial price tag for some games, because there are DLCs, bundles, and fucking little boxes. That's just the truth. Like games are more technically more expensive if you're willing to buy the loot boxes, because like okay, it's just a $10 like loot box. You'll pay it. There's another loot box. It's only $10. Like it's just like the the price you're paying is increasing the more you fucking spend on the fucking game, or the more DLCs you fucking buy, the more fucking loot box, the more fucking battle passes you fucking buy. Like it, the worth of the game, like the game's worth, they did fucking change, but you're paying more because of for just experience or convenience. So technically, you're paying more for the fucking game, even though it's like a $20 game, but or maybe it's a free to play game, and you're fucking buying stuff like buying loot boxes and fucking battle passes. 100% you're paying over $100 of that game now because you buy skins, fucking loot boxes. You probably like paid a lot more money than you would have paid if that free to play game would have been paid game with no fucking loot boxes and stuff, and like loot boxes and like battle passes.
what's even more funny about all of this is the fact that the writer of this article actually ended up using the Baldur's Gate 3 developers' words out of context.
Yeah,
And by the way,
it's
if you
just
guys
out of
have paid
context.
attention at all to journalism over the last couple of years,
It's
they've been
fucked.
using Baldur's Gate 3 developers out of context constantly
Yeah,
because they think it adds some type of emotional weight to whatever their words
because
are. Like,
Boulder
oh, look,
Gate
here's
is
this
a
great developer that made a game that everybody loves saying that they agree with us, when 9 times out of 10, their words are completely out of
yeah.
context. They used it here saying that everybody's just waiting for GTA to increase the price, acting like the Baldur's Gate 3 developers want.
No, it's just a statement. Like that's not like okay. He's just stating the truth. Like yeah, developers are waiting. Like okay, if this company makes this move, everything will change because this is a game that has been waiting for years and years now. And if this drops and this they will set the standard because like okay, if this drops, they will set the standard because it's just a fact. It's just a fact.
GTA to increase the price, when the original tweet that they had made was talking about how much they hated artificial
Yeah,
price structures and gouging that we see in today's gaming industry. The original tweet actually said, I don't love the artificiality of pricing structures post
yeah,
retail. Use the inflated base price to upsell a subscription, and use vague content promises to inflate ultimate editions to make the base price look better. It all seems a bit dangerous and disconnected from the community.
yeah,
I think that games should be priced according to its quality, breadth, and depth. I'm not against higher prices, but this arbitrary uniformity just doesn't
yeah. It it will increase like the perceived quality of the game, thinking it's much better, and
make
like
sense to me.
it's like oh it's like bargain some some sales, like some that it's originally $10 and like you put it in like $100 now. The perceived value is $100, but it's now 99% off, and it's $10. You're still paying the full price, but it's $10 because the perceived, like the actual price is $10 and the perceived price is $100, but it's 90% off, so it's $10. So like you would buy it for, oh, you will buy it because, oh, it used to be $100. Now it's $10, so I will buy it. It's just like the games. The deluxe and like premium editions are way expensive than the the original price, and you will, okay, oh, the deluxe and fucking premium edition, oh, it's this fucking like high quality game. I will buy it because like, okay, the original price is not that looking bad compared to the fucking premium and stuff.
It feels so unserious. I'm going to go off for a second. Don't you guys love how every single time they like to twist things to be able to suit whatever their narrative is, and everything is always
Yeah.
coming from the perspective of the industry and never from the perspective
No,
of the player?
it's
of
not
the customer,
perspective of
the
the
people
player.
that are actually spending money on these things to begin with, because we are never a priority.
Not gonna lie, it sounds like this is not even like, it's just what I want to say, but if you do that, it's not the players that is like suffering. It technically is the player suffering for not like getting content, but like that's not really that bad. You can just like go to an indie company, but the biggest like people that will suffer are the fucking developers of the game if that fucking game flops. Like if you release a game that's $100, it will flop. That reputation will stick to you. It's like because like the players has nothing to lose when the game flops. They just lose. Okay, okay, we'll not just refund the game. But if the game flops, the whole burdens are on the developers that made the game. Because oh, they made a fucking shit product. They made a shit game. So probably they will get less pay because of that. And they probably get fired and lose jobs and from, oh, okay, look, you made this shit game. Okay, like they're just following orders. Legitimately, like decisions like this is super crucial because it doesn't only affect the gamers, it actually affects the fucking developers massively if the game flops.
We are never at the forefront of discussion. We are never at the forefront of their mind when they're making these decisions.
Yeah.
And then they sit back and they wonder why games are failing and studios are closing. I don't know. How could that
They're just
possibly happen?
recording.
The prices for everything is going up. You're absolutely right. Now that I think about it, you know what hasn't gone up with inflation? The
Games.
general quality and day one performance of video games. Even some of the best games that we've seen released over the last few years can't even hit a standardized level of quality. We are spending $60
Yeah.
to $70 on
Shit
brand
games.
new
Oh my
games.
god.
We have to sit there and hold the bag
Oh
because
my god. Oh my god. That's fucking loud. Oh my
The
god. That actually fucking. I didn't fix my fucking alerts. Oh my god.
game's not even finished because it's always the minimum viable product that's being released to us, and we have to wait for them to finish the game for us to be able to play it. But let me take a wild guess and say they're probably going to try to blame the price of things on that as well. They want to talk about how expensive it is to make games today. You know, my question is, why are we the ones that need to keep up with you and your spending? We didn't sign up for that. When I look around the industry, I see some of the most successful games over the last few years: Baldur's Gate 3, Black Myth Wukong, Space Marine 2. These games are made with a quarter of the budget of some of these big, flashy AAA games that nobody.
Yeah, they're fucking like the same quality, same pricing, and just better quality. They just like know how to fucking make games.
ended up buying in the first place. You guys are making tens of billions of dollars. The vast majority of the money that is made in this industry is coming from microtransactions.
Yeah, majority is microtransactions. That's why like games right now are like adding fucking battle passes, fucking DLCs just to make fucking extra money. Because it's the number one cash cow, like microtransactions. Even fucking Mario Party has a fucking battle pass. I don't know if you pay for it and there's like anything that like extra for the fucking Mario Battle Pass if you fucking pay for some. But I don't know. But there are a lot of fucking games that are adding fucking battle passes, even though they're some of the games that are having battle passes are fucking useless, like Mario Party. Like, how many hours are you fucking playing Mario Party to fucking fully complete the fucking battle pass? You're not. You're probably gonna fucking play that once or twice a month with your fucking friends and just drop it sometimes and just like, okay, play it again in like 3 months with your friends again and play another game. Like, I don't know why they add fucking battle pass to every fucking single game now. Like, I don't understand.
This is not
I
my
actually understand because it makes money, but also increase player retention. But that's a whole fucking like thing to fucking unpack.
problem. The sheer cowardice of these companies to sit by and wait for somebody else to increase prices
Yeah.
because they know it's a game or they think it's a game that everybody's going to buy and it's going to be the best way to just sneak that price change in. And that is so telling because you are pathetic and you realize that your games wouldn't sell.
Oh yeah. That's like that's just retarded though. Like if you're gonna fucking make a game more expensive and the quality both the same quality as your old games are fucking flopping, like the like it won't change. It won't change at all. If Concord was $100, that wouldn't change the outcome of the fucking game. If Veilguard was $100, it wouldn't change the outcome of the fucking reaction of the fucking players. It would just be a bigger flop because you're you're artificially increasing the fucking quality of the game by increasing the fucking price. I don't know why the fucking companies are fucking so fucking dumb. You're running a company and you're just fucking dumb. Oh my god, go back to fucking school, go back to fucking school, my guy. That's basic stuff, and you're not fucking getting it.
Asmon, thanks for
Like, like, companies are not getting it.
pausing. Eddie continues with $70 is the current market rate for new AAA releases, and in fact, it was Take-Two that was among the first to raise prices from $60 to $70 back in 2020. Many are naturally wondering if Take-Two might raise prices again for GTA 6's launch. But it remains to be seen if that'll happen. Beyond updating the sticker price for games, video publishers have found other ways to be able to make more money out of players, including expensive editions, microtransactions, and battle passes, just to name a few. GTA 5, for example, has sold 205 million copies and brings in a lot of money in microtransactions in GTA Online.
Yeah.
Early predictions have said that GTA 6 could sell 40 million copies and earn more than $3 billion in revenue during its first year alone.
Yeah.
Paul said that GTA 6's launch this year will have mixed impact on total player hours and revenue across the gaming industry because it'll only be available on console. A PC release is expected after the console launch. However,
Oh, it's not even like releasing on PC. Fuck.
Ball said that GTA 6 will severely cannibalize total hours and spending that would go to other video games when it launches. For its part, Ubisoft said GTA 6 is a good thing for the video game industry overall.
Oh no, it's a horrible thing. Legitimately, if you think it's a fucking good thing, you're dumb. It's not like it will cannibalize the gaming industry. Like it will literally just like kill it because like no one's gonna buy $100 game. Like if you say it, no one's gonna fucking buy $100 game. Like some people will probably buy it if it's actually worth it. But if it's not worth it, no one's gonna buy it. Like it's like Concord. If it's like Concord, no matter how much you fucking price it, if it's $100, $1,000, it will still be a shit game. If like the quality of the game doesn't change, it's just won't fucking like it won't fucking work. It will make the gaming industry far more worse because you're make artificially boosting the fucking price of the fucking games.
Because a huge game like that may help more people turn to gaming. Some of the other areas that Ball listed
No,
off
it won't.
as having potential for growth in 2025 included further expansions into non-core markets, user-generated content, social game services, the Nintendo Switch 2, other new handhelds and devices, AA, AAA, mobile gaming, app store regulation, new game releases, generative AI, and advertising. Make this make sense. I do not understand how
No.
GTA 6, projecting 40 million copies sold and $3 billion in revenue in its first year, is somehow a footnote in a discussion as to why other games should increase their prices to $100.
No, because like legitimately, I understand why GTA 6 is doing that. Just which it's a fucking beloved. It's a game that has been desired for so fucking long, and they're just like trying to trying to make a quick buck, not a quick buck out of it. Like they're making GTA 6, we're gonna make it super expensive because we know that people will buy it because it's GTA fucking 6.
They are failing to realize why GTA 5 did so well, why
Yeah.
GTA 6 is likely to do even better, or why it could even sell for $100 in the first place.
Yeah, because it's a fucking desired game. People want that game. It's been talked about years and years. They wanted GTA fucking 6.
You're not even thinking about what the impact of a price increase would be on other games and other studios outside of one of the biggest video game franchises of all time.
Yeah.
$70 is the new current market rate for AAA releases? No, I think it's the going market rate for trash. The
Yeah, it's
base
fucking
releases
trash.
on PC over the past 2 years have been $60. I mean, take a minute to think about it. If game prices were $100 today, what games would have realistically come out at $100? Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Skull and Bones, Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Diablo
It all
4, Call of
flopped.
Duty, The Sims, sports games, trash, generic slop,
Yeah,
and in
it's
some cases,
slop.
absolute dumpster fires. And
Yeah.
while some of them still would have reached an audience, they wouldn't have reached an audience of the same size because they would have cut off their leg to save a foot in regards to the game's price. I mean, think about what you're saying here. Even Ball mentions how GTA 6 is likely to cannibalize the sales and playtime of other games when they're released. Now imagine these morons raising their prices to $100.
Yeah.
Good games sell well and bad games don't. And
Yeah,
from my
that's just
perspective, if the
simple.
price of games were to increase, it's going to price a lot of players out of a lot of games, and the
Yeah.
entire market is going to shift.
It will fall. Like the entire gaming fucking will, gaming industry will fall if they increase it in that amount because AAA companies will fall and indies will fucking like thrive because like they're pricing their games reasonably. As for like huge AAA companies trying to fucking like follow the trend, like quote unquote trend on fucking X or fucking Blue Sky, like they will flop. AAA companies will flop. Like they're not flop, like they're not fucking bankrupt because like they made a lot of fun games and still like a lot of investors with them. But if they continue to in this trajectory, like they will fucking crumble. That's just fucking the truth. Like they still have like a lot of friends, investor and stuff, so maybe they won't fall.
Games will sell well, and bad games won't sell at all, which means a minor mistake could have catastrophic consequences for some of these studios, and the gap between successes is going to become an ocean many studios cannot cross.
Wait.
I do not understand why the conversation isn't focused around how much money these companies are spending on games. Companies that cannot properly budget their own projects,
Yeah.
set realistic sales projections, or even target an audience's needs properly. Ubisoft spends hundreds of millions of dollars on a busted-ass pirate ship simulator. EA invested hundreds of millions into an educational HR video disguised as Dragon Age. And we have so many more studios that are torching millions of dollars on bloated games filled with busy work and realistic eyelashes. What are we doing
Yeah.
here? This industry is in a state of entropy where they just keep pressing forward, they keep spending more money, they're adding nothing to the core experience, and the customer is the one that is expected to
Yeah.
keep up with their spending.
The customers and the developers are fucking suffering.
They want to blame the failures of the industry on not making enough money, only to distract from the fact that it's their
Oh no, they're not. Like they're not making money. They're not like blaming that they're not making enough money. They're blaming the players for not buying their fucking shit games. They're trying to fucking guilt trip us because like, oh, why do you buy the game? Are you homophobic? Are you fucking sexist? Are you fucking racist? Oh.
fault that people are losing their jobs. Studios are closing and sales are dwindling. I actually read through Matthew Ball's 223-page presentation.
Oh my god.
And he unwittingly proved it himself. In 2020, IDC, Google, ARC, and SMP all made projections on what they thought the industry would look like with its growth in the coming years. They viewed the pandemic boom as an accelerant, not an anomaly. Yes, these idiots thought that COVID was the future. ARC Investments forecasted that the industry would grow by...
They thought like it was like they thought COVID was like accelerant, not like a fucking like phase. They thought, oh, COVID, like, oh, it will go up, even after COVID, up. They didn't fuck, like, did they not know that like when COVID struck, people was home at home playing games, buying games. That's why the fucking like it's going up. And now, like they're surprised it's going down because like people are actually fucking working now and not fucking staying home.
50% in 4 years, from $200 billion to $300 billion. Meaning that investors, blindly trusting speculators, plan to invest in these companies and publishers, and in turn, those companies, flush with cash, invested heavily into their new future. Only for them to be met with the crushing reality that none of those predictions would come true outside of Ampere. So if you're going to use them for investment, they're actually probably the better bet.
Oh.
They don't want game prices to increase for inflation. They want game prices to increase to make up for their colossal financial hole that they've dug them.
They want to fucking make up for the fucking shit show. And the fucking money they fucking lost for what they fucking or what the fucked up they did. Like they just fucked up tremendously, and they want to fucking recoup that fucking money that they fucking flushed down the fucking drain
themselves into. The pandemic led to a wave of overly optimistic projections. Popular forecasters and analysts predicted that gaming would experience perpetual growth, an assumption that was rooted in a brief surge during lockdowns. These predictions were reckless, overlooking the fundamental truth. Once the pandemic subsided, people had to return to the working world.
Yeah, they
Inflation
need to return.
would then hit hard. I think a lot of people forget just how much of an impact stimulus checks had in the US. You had people that were low income and middle class earners that were making more money through unemployment than they ever did while they were employed. This ended up leading to a lot of unrealistic and excessive spending, especially given how much time they had on their hands. How the hell could you believe that the sales and engagement gaming saw in 2020 and 2021 would stay the same? Then I found out just how delusional they are when I came across the slide that was talking about the shortfall of spending and how players were spending less money and how there were less hours that were...
Wow. It seems like people are going back to fucking work and not on their fucking computers all the fucking day. Oh my god. It seems that they are fucking going to their fucking jobs. Oh, we didn't see that coming. Maybe after COVID, people went back to their fucking jobs. Oh shit, we didn't fucking predicted that maybe after COVID, people will go back to normal and not stay at home playing games all day. Oh my god.
spent in games and how that led to an unprecedented number of commercial disappointments and flops. Forspoken, Skull and Bones,
Oh my god.
Concord, Halo Infinite, Redfall, Star Wars Outlaws, Avatar. These games didn't fail because of some esoteric lack in spending. It's because these games sucked.
Yeah,
And
it's
after
simple
I
shit.
saw this, it got me thinking. I'll admit that I was taken aback when I saw just how much the industry had receded after 2020. I had expected a decline, sure, but not to that extent. It took me a while to process it, so I started comparing some of the numbers with some of the other charts in the presentation, and then I stumbled upon something eye-opening. For a while now, I've had this ongoing theory in my mind that the so-called silent majority, those unengaged, uneducated masses that the industry often points to, doesn't actually exist in the way they think they do. I've always believed that the controversies and the complaints that we see from gamers are more than just the noise of a toxic vocal minority. They have a real, tangible effect on how players spend their money and engage with games. And as much as these developers and journalists would try to dismiss it, I think our collective opinions hold more weight than they give us credit for. The slide in the presentation that caught my eye was the one that showed that while US GDP and world GDP were on the rise, indicating that global overall spending was up, player spending dropped 13% from 2021 to 2024. That's a pretty significant dip, and it made me think, what other industry exploded alongside gaming during this period? Social media.
Yeah.
And guess what? Social media didn't take the same dive that gaming did. So think about it. Players who would have normally not been involved in gaming communities suddenly found themselves more connected than ever. The silent majority, those once quiet and unaware of the broader gaming world, became a part of it during COVID. They began engaging with games on a deeper level, and their awareness grew. They didn't buy into what was just being fed to them. They started thinking critically and evaluated their purchases.
Actually got more informed and said, oh, that's why this game is fucking shit. That's why I didn't fucking find this game fucking fun. Oh, so they just they just got more informed and didn't just buy on impulse because it's just a fucking new title. They just they actually got more informed
Participating in
and
some of these
did
online
buy.
communities and sharing their thoughts on other platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and Twitch.
Yeah.
And I think that Twitch is a really good example of this because while their viewership has dipped a little bit since 2021, they still retained a lot of the audience that they captured during COVID, and they haven't fallen back to their pre-2020 numbers. That shows a community that stuck around that was
It's really not. It's because it's an entertainment industry, so like if you've got it's a tele entertainment industry, same as like games. It's still entertainment, but it's more the personalities of the fucking people like get like they it's like a TV show. It's like, oh, you like this actor, you like this fucking show, you want to fucking watch it more and more and more. So I guess it's like it's not the same, but it's also the same, but not the same at the same time.
once passive consumers is now much more active and informed. You have a group of customers who have returned to the workforce, who have less money to spend due to inflation,
Yeah.
who likely picked up on a couple of YouTube channels or Twitch streamers that are talking about different issues that are going on in the industry, and they're still watching, they're still engaging with that content. This isn't just a trend, it's a fundamental change in how we as consumers, as customers, as players engage with this industry. We're not just the ones buying games anymore. We are shaping the conversations around them. We are shaping what their sales look like at the end of the day. And I think the developers and journalists are starting to realize this, even if they're reluctant to admit it. The players really are the ones with all the power.
Yeah.
When you look at the growth of social media and you see how many people are connected to it, it's at a point where it's oversaturation. We're still seeing the same levels of engagement during the lockdown days. That they're still the same. A lot of the channels probably have seen even more growth since then. I would guarantee if I went out and I started polling some of the people that blew up or got big or anything like that during COVID, they probably still retained a lot of their audience, except for some of those Minecraft guys. But that's a completely different story. They did that to themselves for the most part. But
Yeah.
I think what the industry doesn't realize, or maybe they just don't
Yeah.
want to realize it, that's probably really what it is that players
Maybe
are still
someone
engaged
her
in all these
back.
discussions. All the views are still coming in on videos, all the tweets and all the Reddit stuff is still getting updates and all that good stuff. People are talking about the industry, but they're not buying the games and they're not playing the games. So what does that mean? That means that they're out there involved in these communities and they're avoiding games. You
Yeah,
cannot tell me
they're just avoiding the fucking games that are fucking bad. And unlike the past that there was a new a new Dragon Age that's dropped. Oh, I want to fucking buy it. I want to buy it. They just fucking buy it. And oh, why is this not that good? And like, oh, they just like got disappointed and like, okay, maybe next time will be fucking greater. And like, now they fucking got into social media and then got into fucking certain groups, certain fucking friend groups that more informed than him, and they inform them about like this and that, like how like the industry is fucking like this and the industry is fucking that. They are more informed. They are more likely to fucking do more research about the fucking said game that they are hoping for. And if they get disappointed, they won't fucking buy that game, said game. That's why the gaming industry is like going down. Like not only the gaming, but the triple A industry is not doing well.
That all the controversy that was surrounding Dragon Age the Veilguard didn't affect its sales. People waited for reviews, they felt
Yeah.
the general vibe of the game, and they avoided the game. And as such, the game failed. In most
Yeah.
cases, a game with that name, a game that has that much cultural
Dragon
weight,
Age.
Dragon Age, should have sold regardless. It still should have did really
Yeah.
well, but it didn't. And why?
Because people are more informed. They actually look at reviews and not actually buy impulsively.
Is it? Well, it's because people are paying attention to videos or watching
Yeah.
videos or keeping up on previews and stuff like that. They're going off of the vibe before they actually go to buy. And as such, they're avoiding stuff that they don't think is worth their money.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that the analysts and the journalists aren't talking about is why GTA could sell for $100. The reason why is it's because it's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
it has been a cultural phenomenon. It's a massive game. And
yeah,
the thing
it's
is,
been fucking waited. It's been people are been waiting for this game for years now, and they're actually making it a fucking good game. They're actually trying to make it like the graphics wise is fucking insane. I don't know about the gameplay wise, but the previews that we are seeing, oh, this might be a worthwhile game to spend on. No matter like because it's a cultural phenomenon. Like GTA has been a staple in gaming for fucking years. Like you cannot say that GTA is not a fucking staple. It's been there since like the beginning. I don't know the beginning, but like it's been there for long ago, and like it's just like it's a game. It's a beloved franchise. Like people are wanting to play that.
is that there's a lot of players that are out there that have overhyped the game in a lot of cases,
Yeah,
but it's one of the
true.
most anticipated releases in forever, it feels like. And some people are confident the game is going to deliver, but I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are going to buy it even if it doesn't because they're just going to do
It's just
it.
GTA.
Simple as that.
It's GTA.
And there's a level of confidence there, consumer confidence, that I don't think exists anywhere else in the industry right now. Maybe there's a couple of studios that are out there
Yeah.
that people are like, for sure,
Yeah.
I'll buy one of their games. FromSoft is like that for a lot
Yeah,
of people.
true.
Larian's now become one of those
Yeah,
studios
true.
as well. I'm sure that people will probably pick up on Game Science or Saber or whatever it might be. But outside of that, the vast majority of games, most people are relatively leery about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of studios. Anytime any game comes out, I'm pretty nervous because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work day one. I don't know if it's going to be worth my money. I don't know if they're going to deliver on all the promises.
Yeah.
Even with the gameplay trailers and stuff like that, because we've had games in the past that have showed us gameplay trailers and the game
Or
didn't
not
play anything
the
like
same.
it.
Yeah.
Sure, you're going to have some people that are out there that are going to be habit buyers, and they will just go and pick up Grand Theft Auto, and I'm sure probably the same thing will happen for like sports
Yeah.
games and stuff like that too. But I'm just going to be honest with you. There's just a lot of people that are out there that can't afford a $100 video game.
Yeah, true.
And this isn't a
It's
shot at
expensive.
people being like, oh, look at this broke boy or anything like that. Dude, I get it. I don't like spending that kind of money on something.
$100
I
is
can write it off on my
$100.
taxes and I'll still feel dirty doing it. And to be honest with you, with the rise in popularity for PC gaming, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a return to pirating.
Yeah.
Just like in the early
Oh, yeah.
2000s.
Yeah. I said it at the first beginning of the video. I will say it again. Pirating would increase if the fucking game price will go up and up and up because people want to play games but not willing to pay the fucking price. And like piracy was like it's like somewhat dying down today because like okay, maybe you can buy it, maybe not. Like, but now if like you increase the price, I do think pirating would increase if you just fucking increase the price to $100. That's it. $100 is $100. Like it's a fucking threshold. You will meet like 100 is a fucking big number. And if you put it on a fucking game, oh my god, it's a daunting number. You would say, oh, it's $100. You would,
For it. And they're all going to fail. Outside of a handful, maybe 1, 2, 3 games a year, maybe.
yeah,
And the funny thing is that even those games are going to suffer because most people aren't going to be able to justify.
yeah. They're not gonna fucking pay $100 to buy a fucking game. Like even good games will suffer because of like, okay, this $100. Is it worth it? Probably not. Maybe I should just pirate this. So piracy will increase if this will like this pricing would be normalized.
$300 on 3 games. That's crazy. You out of your mind? That's half a console.
Yeah,
What are you thinking? Even a price increase up to $80, I think, is going to be too much.
true. It's not that worth it.
I don't care what people say about, how realistically money feels today because of inflation or anything like that. $80 to $100 is a lot of money. And for most people, they're just going to pass on it. There's other games that are out there that are far cheaper, that are much more worth their money, and they're going to support them instead. So if these AAA companies want to go ahead and do it, these big, the biggest publishers and studios that we have that are out there, go for it. I love to make videos about it.
Yeah.
Like the video I'm going to make for BioWare.
Mm.
That's going to be. That one's a long time coming.
Oh
Anyway,
shit.
hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did,
Yeah.
like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it to your friends, share it on social media and things like that. Boost my engagement. Make me
Same.
famous. See you guys later. Stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe.
Family.